Split Fiction begins by introducing us to our two protagonists, Mio and Zoe, who are struggling writers attempting to get their big break.
Have you been published before? Nope.
They arrive at the company Rader Publishing for what they think is a publishing deal, but the CEO of the company, Rader himself, soon tells them that they will be trying out his new machine, which will allow the invited writers to experience their stories in hyper-immersive virtual reality.
You will all undergo a unique simulation of your story. And during the experience, we will record and store it all, and then package and publish.
Mio gets nervous and accidentally falls into Zoe's immersive bubble. And that's where the fun begins. I mean, just based on genre, I would pick fantasy, probably. You too? You can take Zoe. Mio's intrusion into Zoe's fantasy story leads to the emergence of a glitch in the machine, which pulls the pair into one of Mio's sci-fi stories.
Where are we? I think this is my story.
It's here that we get introduced to some of the core mechanics of the game: jumping, dashing, wall running, etc. I think you just need to time it better. I think you were sprinting. Oh no, you're not clicking it. After a short level that ends with crash landing a spaceship, another interaction with a glitch pulls the two into another one of Zoe's stories. And this is the core gameplay loop of Split Fiction. You play through a level in either a sci-fi or fantasy world before switching genres for the next level. This level is the second half of the introduction for the game and allows you to continue getting comfortable with the controls as you're chased through a village by trolls. Oh my goodness. I died again.
Shoot, I can't be carrying the team. That's not okay.
After escaping via another glitch, we overhear Rader admitting that he is using his machine to steal ideas from the brains of writers.
Extracting all of their ideas.
So, under the assumption that interacting with more glitches may break the machine from the inside, Mio and Zoe head back into their stories to go glitch hunting. So we dive into our first full-length sci-fi chapter, Neon Revenge, which Mio created as a revenge story against various metaphorical establishment figures in her life, like her landlord or parking officers. Here, our characters are equipped with two different sets of powers. Mio gets to use a gravity sword, which doubles as a weapon and a gravity-changing device. Meanwhile, Zoe gets access to a gravity whip, which allows her to catch, throw, and interact with objects at range. Together, you can use your powers to solve puzzles and take down enemies. This concept of separate but compatible powers is one of the core gameplay mechanics of Split Fiction, and in my opinion is a great utilization of local multiplayer. Now, Split Fiction is clearly all about genre exploration, as you are constantly hopping between science fiction and fantasy worlds. But this game even takes it to another level. When you are inside one of the game's chapters, you come across side stories, which present you with short adventures in the opposite genre. So, for example, while in this sci-fi chapter, we came across the side story, The Legend of the Sandfish, where you get to ride on these sand creatures like straight out of Dune. And let me say, the side stories were my absolute favorite part of this entire game. Being able to rapidly test out different mechanics and alternating genres is a ton of fun, and the developers did a great job at making each side story unique while also not feeling too gimmicky. I always found myself looking forward to finding the next side story, which is great because there's a ton of them to find. In total, there are 12 different side stories throughout the game, and you get a trophy for finishing all 12. So I'll make sure to point them out as the video continues. After riding the sandfish, we get back to the main story, and we soon came across our first couple trophies. Now, full disclosure, I'll be presenting these trophies in the linear order that they occur throughout the story, but given that I don't like playing video games with a guide, we did have to come back for some trophies because we didn't naturally find them in our first playthrough. The first possible trophy comes in a section where Mio can toss a ball to Zoe, who can use her gravity whip to throw it at breakable entryways. But if you throw the ball towards a sky bridge right above you, you're rewarded with a trophy. So now we're doing it here. Oh,
Are we the baddie?
We just had to kill a bunch of people for a trophy.
Yeah, no worries. It's just a simulation.
Okay.
Soon afterwards, you come across a giant stuffed elephant, which is a reference to a character from It Takes Two, Hazelight's previously published game. In It Takes Two, there is a notoriously emotionally damaging scene where you rip apart this stuffed elephant, and the developers were nice enough to let you recreate this scene in Split Fiction.
Find another one to do. Rose's best friend.
I hate that I had to do that.
Next, we came across our first boss, Mr. Hammer, and nothing was too difficult about this guy. To be honest, the boss fights in this game are only okay, in my opinion. None of them are very difficult, but they are fun to look at. The ease of difficulty comes from the fact that only one of you has to be alive at any given time to continue the boss fight. As long as you can survive long enough for your partner to respawn, you'll be fine. So after a couple attempts, we were able to deal with Mr. Hammer no problem.
Nice. Or like bodyguard or something? Oh shoot.
After Mr. Hammer, we found our next side story, where you get to play as a pair of pigs with a very unique set of powers.
The fart?
Super pig powers in no time. What? I fart fly? Magical rainbow farts are truly the best part.
Oh my gosh.
And there are actually 2 trophies in this side story. Firstly, you get a trophy for knocking down one of the 3 little pigs' houses. Then you get another trophy for interacting with a giant pig later on in the side story.
Damn! Oh, now
That's
is a
disgusting.
funky odor.
Going whole hog.
This side story also has a hilarious ending that is probably better watched than explained.
Oh my god.
What the hell, Zoe? What? God! I know. Let's just end this.
No!
Get in our beds.
Wait.
No.
So after that fresh trauma, we fought against our next boss, the parking attendant. This was a much more entertaining boss than Mr. Hammer, as you have to fight the attendant both from the outside and the inside. Then, after defeating its outer shell, you get the pleasure of finishing off the core. As you progress through the level, you come across your first bench, where both players can sit and get to know each other a little better. There are 6 of these, spread throughout the game, and a trophy will be earned for sitting on all of them.
How about this, huh?
Shortly after this, we earned yet another random trophy, this time for annoying the front desk robot at a hotel that we came across.
Oh, what the heck? It killed me. Robot Revolution.
We also played through our third and final side story of the chapter, Mountain Hike, which was a mostly cinematic experience where we climbed mountains with the aid of giants. Before the final boss of the level, you engage in a high-speed bike chase with the opportunity to earn yet another trophy. At the end of the chase, Zoe has the chance to disarm the bike's self-destruct protocol by successfully completing a CAPTCHA test on a cell phone. Either way, the bike explodes, but if you successfully complete all CAPTCHA screens before the timer goes off, your reward is a trophy. This took us quite a few times, as there are a number of tricks that are used to make you fail the CAPTCHA test, but eventually we got it.
Oh, that sends you back.
Wait, do you not have to check all those boxes?
No, I do, but after I beat this one thing finish.
30 seconds. Focus, Zoe! Oh, I'm trying! Damn!
Self-destructed. 20 seconds.
Come on! Oh, load already!
Oh my gosh.
Come on!
Self-destructed.
Oh my gosh.
Why? What?
8,
Nothing!
7, 6, 5,
Did it do it?
2. Self-destruct disabled.
Oh! You are not a robot!
To end the chapter, you fight against the SRI crime boss, the sci-fi embodiment of Mio's landlord. In this fight, you use the laser guns of your motorbikes to knock over the crime boss's mechanical walker and then deal damage to its head. The chapter comes to an end once you defeat the boss and interact with a glitch, which begins to damage the machine from the inside.
What is this? It's spreading. What is going on?
So, invigorated by their success, Mio and Zoe jump into the next story to find more glitches. This time, the setting is one of Zoe's fantasy worlds, where each of us can shapeshift into 2 different creatures. Mio can transform into a giant monkey, which can climb around the environment and smash things, and she can also transform into a sea otter who can swim. Meanwhile, Zoe transforms into a magical fairy that can fly, and a giant tree creature who is oddly reminiscent of Groot that can interact with and control the nature around you.
I'm a force of nature.
While the powers here are very different from the previous sci-fi world, the idea is the same. Use your powers to help each other navigate the environment.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. It killed me.
We also learned that there's an evil Ice King trying to take over and cover the land in ice, so he set off to find his stronghold in order to stop his plans. At the beginning of the chapter, we picked up a quick trophy for using Mio's monkey form to push Zoe on a rope swing.
Oh my gosh. A friendly push. Monkey strong.
What am I doing?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I guess that's a trophy first. Push. Oh! I think that's what was supposed to happen when I pushed you. Wait, do it again.
This chapter also contains 3 more side stories. The first, Train Heist, has you engage in a Galaga-inspired boss fight against the Conductor.
You know?
Ooh, I died.
It's like Galaga or whatever.
I'm really bad at Galaga.
Oh, how do you lose your force field?
Get that power up.
Power up? It literally is Galaga.
We'll get the job done.
Oh my gosh, I'm shooting so much.
That's why we died as a team. Oh my god. Oh, we get to start halfway.
Yeah.
I thought we were
In the next side story, you get to play in a science fiction game show where you navigate obstacles while preventing a bomb from exploding by tossing it back and forth and placing it in a safety chute.
Yikes! It just had to be bombs, didn't it? Chuck it! Phew.
In order to beat the game show, you have to complete 6 or 7 of these rounds of increasing difficulty. This side story also has a trophy associated with it for beating all rounds of the game show without dying once, and this was the most difficult trophy in the entire game. It took us many tries, but we finally got our successful no-death run for the trophy.
Okay, ready? On the second
On the second platform.
Do gloriously or die miserably.
Yep. Take the launch and then toss. Coming to you now. First one, go.
Running out of time!
Good. Now all the way to the end. Good. Okay, now you know how to do this one now, right? Yes. Wait for it to go, and then yes, and then we're gonna toss it on the other side of it.
We need to blow up that jumbo
Just
bomb
go slow.
before the
Go
whole
slow.
arena collapses.
Ready? Go. We're gonna toss it before the thing. Right now, and now we take our time. Good. Now toss it back. All slow. Nice. Now we go up.
Get me fired.
Yep. And I'm gonna toss it to you here.
Time's
And
almost
now we
up.
take the launch pad up. Where are we going?
Finish her, Zoe!
Oh my god. Is that it?
So, did we win? Yes. Jump! What?
Is that it? Yes!
That was
Cold
so
potato!
hard.
That is so hard. Complete the game show without the bomb exploding.
Cold
Oh my goodness.
In the last side story of the chapter, you have to dodge the recurring explosions emitted by a dying star. And while the gameplay here is pretty standard platforming stuff, the scenery with the exploding star in the background is incredibly beautiful.
So pretty. Whoa. Oh, we have to stay behind the glass.
Keep pushing! I'm trying! Did we fix it?
That was kind of hard.
Back in the main storyline, you approach the Ice King's castle after convincing the Monkey King to let you pass through his lands by showing off your dance moves. As we approached the castle, we earned another trophy by throwing some snowballs at birds that were flying in the distance. Then, after sitting on our second bench and discussing our drink preferences, we met the ferocious Ice King.
Pet me or die, human. What? Today must be my lucky day.
He shapeshifts too!
Again, this boss fight wasn't very difficult at all, but it was fun to use all of our shape-shifting abilities together to defeat him.
Oh.
This game is very beginner friendly. I just keep dying.
With another glitch collected, Rader grows increasingly concerned about the damage to his machine. While he can't yet figure out how to get Mio and Zoe out, he is able to talk to them, and he tries to convince them to stop pursuing glitches.
I need you to discontinue your pursuit of the glitches. It's only making our situation worse.
You can cut the crap. We've heard you the entire time.
You what? Wait, Mio, I might be able to assist you with your father's situation. We looked you up. And if it's financial assistance you require, I might be able to help you.
However, not trusting anything he says, the pair ignores his request and continues hunting for glitches in hopes that they will destroy the machine and prevent Rader from stealing stories from writers.
Good chat. Very productive.
Wait, I will find a way to stop you.
The next chapter of the game, Final Dawn, has you infiltrate a factory where robots have created an ultimate chemical weapon to fight against humans. Here, Zoe and Mio have a very similar set of powers, as each of them are equipped with a laser gun. However, as indicated by your two different colors, there are certain objects that are only responsive to one of your weapons. So the puzzles in this chapter are largely oriented around who needs to shoot at which objects. You each also have access to blast grenades, which can blow holes in force fields as long as you match your color. Enemies also follow this color scheme, and you must use the correctly colored grenades to destroy their shields. As you travel through the factory, you come across some large mech bosses that you must defeat using these strategies.
That. Nice.
Nice shot! It's doing something!
Oh, we're gonna crush it.
Smash it again!
Smash it again.
Again!
Later on, there's a portal-inspired section of the level, and you can get a trophy for finding a secret room.
Yeah. The cake is not a lie.
Again, this chapter has 3 side stories, all taking place in the fantasy genre. The first is a quick fly through the skies where you race through a course known as the Kite Run. It looks nice, but it's nothing too special, and it felt like any other flying minigame where you have to fly through rings in the air to progress. Although, for those not as accustomed to inverted flight mechanics, this could be slightly difficult.
Dad.
Where do I go? Up here. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
I have a feeling I'm quite a bit ahead here.
The second side story, Moon Market, allows you to explore a magical market while rescuing magical stray cats.
Right.
And there are 2 more trophies that you can get here. Firstly, in the market there is a potion brewing stall, where you combine ingredients to create potions that turn you into different items. Once you try out all 6 different ingredient combinations and drink the corresponding potions, you get a trophy.
Potion chef. I need your strongest potion.
Then, in another area of the market, you can use a magic wand to continue turning your partner into different things. And if you turn your partner into a chair and then sit on them, you get another trophy. The third side story of the chapter, Notebook, was super fun, and I was very impressed at how diverse the game kept the different stories. Here, you work your way through a pencil-drawn adventure that is constantly changing around you.
Heroes need a weapon. How about swords?
This may have been my favorite side story of the entire game just because of its novelty. You even get to choose which bosses you fight at the end of the story.
I see. The big duck appears. Quack, quack, quack.
Back in the main story, we continue to work our way through the factory, fighting against another mech boss. Also, don't forget to sit on the bench that can be found in this chapter. That's now 3 out of 6 found throughout the game. We soon learn that the robot's chemical weapon is being extracted from a giant kraken-like animal that is being held prisoner in the factory. To go even further, it turns out that Mio created this story as a metaphor for her father, who is dying of cancer and constantly receiving medical treatment that doesn't seem to be working.
You probably already guessed it, but I sort of based the story around my dad.
To end the chapter, we break the Kraken out of the factory, symbolizing the freedom that Mio knows her father may never have again. Back at Rader Publishing, Rader and his team try to begin repairing the machine, which causes the two of you to get tethered, making it more difficult to interact with the next glitch. However, after a quick platforming section, you are able to reach the glitch despite Rader's best efforts, preventing the repair of the machine.
No! System failsafe deactivated.
Next, you jump into the Rise of the Dragon Realm, where you get to raise dragons as you learn more about Zoe and her twin sister Ella. The design of this chapter is very engaging and constantly changes as your dragons grow bigger. You begin by carrying your dragon eggs through the level, but then they hatch, giving you 2 baby dragons with very different powers that ride around in your backpacks. Zoe's dragon can use its tail to stick to and climb up small walls covered in vines. Meanwhile, Mio's dragon allows you to glide through the air for short periods of time. And then, in classic fashion, your 2 sets of powers are used together to progress through the level. In this baby dragon section, you can also receive a trophy for feeding your dragon some dragon fruit.
Oh, who wants a
I
treat?
can feed him!
Hey, feed me.
There's also another bench in this section where you get to chat a little more about why Zoe enjoys the fantasy genre.
Reality can be overwhelmingly harsh and cold from time to time.
Soon, your dragons grow even larger, at which point you can start riding on their backs.
Let's go.
Now, Mio's dragon can fully fly through the air and spit acid that melts metal. On the other hand, Zoe's dragon can somersault roll to bash through objects and fully climb up vine walls.
Oh, this beauty's got claws.
Now that your dragons are a little more powerful, you can start fighting some larger boss enemies using a combination of Mio's acid attack and Zoe's roll attack. There's even a cool top-down portion of this level that culminates in a battle with an armor-clad crystalline tortoise.
Final push, Mio. Okay, let's do this. Ta-ta, traitor.
Now, before I get to the final boss of the chapter, there are 3 final side stories in this chapter that will result in a trophy for completing all 12 side stories in the game. In the first, you get to do some sci-fi snowboarding down a mountain. In the second, you get to jump around in low gravity in order to escape a space station that is destroyed by an asteroid. And finally, in the last sci-fi story, you get to play as Teeth?
What?
Teeth!
Okay, I'm officially done being surprised.
At first, this side story that Mio wrote as a child seems as though it fits better in the fantasy genre rather than sci-fi, but things soon take a turn as you have to fight off a robot dentist.
Go for it. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is brutal.
Get some!
It's like Coraline
Jeez,
token.
Mio.
Yeah.
What was that about? What? Huh? That dentist had it coming. That's just
We'll see you now.
Run!
And after defeating the dentist, we earned a trophy for beating all 12 side stories. So with that, your dragons grow one final time and become full adults that can now soar through the skies. Here you take on a giant black dragon to finish out the level, and this boss fight is actually really cool. While at first you chase the giant dragon through the sky, you're soon able to climb along its back as your dragons help you deal damage. After dealing the final blow, you sadly have to say goodbye to your dragons.
Now fly!
At this point, you learn that Zoe's sister Ella actually passed away when they were children, and that Zoe still has not fully forgiven herself for the accident that occurred. But, determined to push on, Mio and Zoe continue on with the next glitch. Rader starts to crash out, defying the leadership of the company and setting the machine to full power, hoping to push Mio and Zoe into their subconscious despite safety concerns.
If we accelerate the machine to full power, we could potentially push them into their subconscious, sir.
That is too dangerous. We can't guarantee their safety.
Maybe not, but it would set them off track, though.
Unbiased time to restore the machine. Yes, that's it. Set it up.
But sir, we don't know if their minds can handle the procedure.
I don't care! Set it up!
The plan works, and the two begin to experience weirder and weirder stories that they never even wrote down. In this chapter, after being called out to by a mysterious prisoner, you take control of little mechanical balls to navigate the level. Mio's ball is made of tiny robots that can disassemble to crawl through small spaces and change into different shapes, like a parachute or a boat. Zoe's ball, on the other hand, can magnetize to surfaces to roll on walls or fly through the air. Early on in the level, when Mio's boat bot is carrying around Zoe, there's an area in the water that looks more bubbly than the surrounding water. Steering your boat into this bubbly patch gives you a trophy.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
You didn't even tell me we were doing that one.
Later on, there's a stealth section where Mio needs to clear the way for Zoe's ball around enemies. However, if Mio uses the laser to shoot at Zoe while she's under a cardboard box, you get another trophy for your betrayal.
Was that a big gap?
Did you shoot me?
Yeah.
Next, you get to play through a clever little pinball segment, after which you get back to your human forms. In these forms, Zoe can still use magnetization powers, while Mio can hack into technology to control it.
Unwire that sucker, Mio!
Here you can also sit on your 5th out of 6 benches. At one point, Mio hacks into a robot with an extendable taser that allows Zoe to reach distant platforms. And if you zap Zoe with the taser, you get another trophy.
What? Tased and confused.
The last trophy for this level is also super easy to get. All you have to do is lock one of yourselves in this cage. This chapter ends with a fight against Dark Mio, the quote-unquote prisoner that called out to you earlier. This is the embodiment of Mio's repressed feelings, the entity that ultimately leads to Mio's standoffish front that she gives off to those around her. The end of the fight is pretty cool. At first, it seems like you both have to button mash to defeat Dark Mio with her own sword. However, we soon realized that my button mashing was stopping us from defeating her. In other words, when Mio fought back, she couldn't come to terms with her emotions. She had to give in and allow herself to feel completely to destroy this part of herself.
Thank you.
At this point, Mio and Zoe are pulled into Zoe's subconscious, where she needs to come to terms with what happened to Ella. Here, you have a pair of very ethereal powers. Mio can create beams and platforms of light, while Zoe can push and pull objects around with these green tendrils. Now, this level is fairly short and doesn't have any trophies, except for the fact that it contains the 6th and final bench to sit on. However, sitting on this bench didn't get the trophy to pop for us, so we had to go back to all of the previous benches until we found the one that didn't register the first time around.
Sisters, A Tale of Two Besties. Bugged trophy, I guess.
Ooh, I prefer teeth.
Then, at the end of this level, you fight against a Hydra using your powers.
Oh, or not. This one here.
Then, Zoe finally moves on from Ella's death after speaking with her in her own subconscious.
I'm so sorry.
After both dealing with their emotional traumas, Mio and Zoe are able to escape from their subconscious, preventing Rader's attempted repair of the machine once again. In a final, desperate attempt to save his invention, he enters the simulation himself for one final boss battle. In this finale, Rader continuously manipulates your environment in an attempt to kill you. You jump back and forth between sci-fi and fantasy settings and even get to run around in multiple settings at once. This sequence was thoroughly captivating as well as visually stunning. To be honest, the gameplay oriented around multiple simultaneous environments was like nothing I've ever played before, and it was completely unforgettable. During the final fight, Rader also used enemies from earlier in the game to his advantage, summoning them from your previous stories. Defeating Rader wasn't too difficult though, as you were able to deal damage to him by grabbing weapons from glitches.
Creation, my dream, and no one, not you or you, will stand in my way.
Get ready to flank him, Zoe! Let's get him!
Wow.
After this extended battle, the two of you are finally able to kick Rader out of the machine, simultaneously freeing you both from the simulation and destroying the machine once and for all. Rader gets arrested, and the two of you finally get published by writing about your adventures, bringing the game to a close. With that, we finish the story, receiving our final trophy and the Platinum Trophy for Split Fiction.
The mechanics were fun. Woo!
BFFs. Finally published, which means Platinum Trophy. It took 2. Unlock all trophies.